Hi everyone, it is Sunday, October 27th. Welcome to My Left Ear. I'm Carrie Freeman, the writer, producer, director of My Left Ear. It's a liberal YouTube channel, and we've just been focusing only on Kamala Harris and Tim Walz winning the election. So that's what I'm all about right now through whatever date that decision will be made. I doubt we're going to know on November 5th. So we'll see how that goes. This is video 231, and people beat me up if I don't say please like and subscribe. So now you've just, if you do that, then I won't get battered around or anything. And it's 9 days we have remaining to vote. So there you are. Now, you know what? I have a little outline. I don't have runes for you. I'm going to do runes for you, for all of us, on either Monday or Tuesday. This is sort of a late afternoon Sunday edition, where it's kind of like all my observations and some stats, which are good, some good evidence, some facts. I love facts. And that's what today's all about. But I think there's some fun stuff in here. My brain went crazy. So I'm starting off with, like I have been for about 4 weeks, I've been doing building blocks of what's good for Kamala, what's on the upswing, any news that's just been especially, now there's plenty of it. I don't have all of it, but these are the things that I thought, oh, that's awfully good for the Harris-Walz campaign. And so I start actually with number 45, Donald Trump, that he had a rally. You're going to know where it is. I should have looked it up. I'm pretty good with this stuff, but every once in a while, like, oh, what state was that in? What city was that in? Where he was 3 hours late. Bunch of people came. I don't know, it's never the numbers that Kamala Harris has, but a lot of people came, and they waited and they waited and they waited, and a lot of people left. There's a lot of video of people vacating. I'm not up for this. He was doing 45. Sometimes I just like to refer to him as a number. Was doing a podcast with that super macho guy, Joe Rogan, who's, to me, like, ugh, that toxic masculinity, like they like to call it. Anyway, he was doing this rambling, weaving podcast. Even Joe Rogan was confused. At one point, I didn't watch all of it. I couldn't possibly stomach that. But Rogan said, I don't know what you just said. Which that's like, what did he just say? It was great. Anyway, Rogan is still for Donald Trump. Those kind of guys stay together. But anyway, I thought that at the same time, I think this was almost at the same time, Kamala had like 30,000 people cheering for her and Michelle Obama. And so that when we talk about contrast, which, the brilliant Professor Lichtman, which I've mentioned before, if not every single time, in fact, someone criticized me about not mentioning Lichtman, but I had. They just missed that particular video. But no, I think his input is very important. But anyway, there's more contrast. That's one of his keys, is there has to be, I'm doing that accordion thing that Trump does. No, I don't want to do that. There has to be a lot of contrast between the two candidates. So that's a good thing. Now, the other thing is that the rally that Kamala Harris did with Beyonce, it was really a one subject rally in Texas. And it was about women's health care. It was in Houston. Thank you very much. My left ear gave me that. It was in Houston. And this is where I think Michelle Obama spoke. And it was just powerful, just, like amazing. But, beyond the accolades, the content, what was spoken in Texas. And boy, I really got the feeling this issue of women having autonomy over their bodies and their decisions about their own bodies and organs, along with trained doctors, medical doctors, it's not going to go away. We have it just can't. And fortunately, we have Kamala Harris and so many people that are on board, because there's already been these tragedies. In Texas, the percentages of rapes have gone up. And so that's a horrible thing to have to admit. Anyway, these rallies have been very powerful. Now, the Pennsylvania newspapers endorse Kamala Harris. Ta-da! The Houston Chronicle, we endorse Kamala Harris for President of the United States in their opinion section. And then I'm sure by now all of you know that the Washington Post and the LA Times will not endorse any president. And I refer to Jeff Bezos as the little pish that was on Oprah. I'm just old enough to remember a show that Oprah did, because I sure liked watching her back in the day on ABC, when she had this guy who had invented Amazon books. I think that was the beginning of just books. And then, so she had him on, and he was considered, wow, look what he did, and these Amazon things. And he was like a little pish. I think this is a word my mother used. Jews have all kinds of fun little words, like mitzvah. I love that word, mitzvah, M-I-T-V-A-H, M-I-T-Z-V-A-H, mitzvah, M-I-T-V, yeah, M-I-T-V. Now, I have to look at it. I'm so sorry about that, but mitzvah, it means a good thing. It means a blessing. It means good evidence, okay? So that's a nice word. So little pish, I can hear my mother saying, that little pish, what's he doing owning a newspaper, making those decisions? Anyway, nobody likes him very much. And he would not have the girlfriend if he sold shoes at Bergdorf's. Sorry to say it, but he wouldn't. Instead, he has a ship. He's so rich. All right, so now back to contrast. This is an observation that I have. Someone, I doubt that it came from Donald Trump directly. I doubt that he's that creative, but they found a way to frame his dementia-ridden ramblings. Somebody found a word, and Trump glommed onto it because he is a con man, a storyteller, and a liar. And he said, oh, no, the other side likes to talk about, there's something wrong with me. I can't follow an idea, but they don't understand. I get asked a question and I end up doing a whole weave. And of course he's doing this stuff, so that's probably why I'm doing it. And so his answer to his weird ramblings, not answering questions, avoiding, is called the weave. Now, just recently, in the last 48 hours, Tim Walz made a great joke about the weave. And I noticed the joke was so well set up, because jokes are really funny if they're set up properly. And then the punchline comes in, and he did that, or his writing team helped him with that. But it was great. And I think Tim said something like, I only know of one type of weave that Donald Trump knows about, and everybody just burst out laughing. That was kind of what it was. But anyway, then we go to the contrast. it's just so amazing. I had to bring it up, is that Kamala Harris is standing up with a mic with Anderson Cooper, and Anderson is very direct, and he says, you know, excuse me if I paraphrase, he says, do you think Donald Trump is a fascist? And in a very modulated tone, she says, yes, I do. All right, so there you go from the weave, where the answer is never clear, there's never an answer actually, all the way to, yes, I do think he's a fascist. Immediately, no intro, just answers the question, simple, yes. And that, I think, is emblematic, if that's the right word, that this is how she will govern, in this simple, clear, honest way, just like she's run the whole campaign. That answer, bing, it sort of went bing, and I'm like, okay, there's the contrast. Had to bring that up. Opinions unlimited, my left ear, opinions unlimited. Now here's another thing I noticed. There's, on one hand, there's a talk of unity, you know, that we're divided, we're this, that. But when you get down to the science of voting and polls and stats, it's really unity versus a list. And so I wrote this down. It's like we're so compartmentalized now. All of us are put into a category, and at the end of this, I have to share something with you about being a human being, okay? It's a story, it's fun, you'll like it. But here's all the categories. Men, women, Hispanic people, white people, black men, black women, white men, white women, non-college degrees, college graduates, white men, white women, non-college graduates, college graduates, white men without college degrees, white women without college degrees. And now I'm dizzy. And then it has the age groups, 18 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, 50 to 63, and then 65 on. So I'm thinking, when it comes to the voting and the predicting, because they're saying, well, they're going to this area because they have a lot of Hispanic, blah, blah people there. And then they're going to this area. And so we're supposed to be very united, but we're really all chopped up in some way. Do you have any idea what I'm saying? I think you do. All right. So I'm skipping something here. It's interesting, but I'm going to come back to it. Well, I got an email. I think 1 or 2 videos ago, I suggested that you all have a left ear. And maybe it's not the ear, maybe it's something else, but I think people really have intuition and receive messages that they don't readily recognize. And the more you recognize, the clearer the messages are, and the more they come, to be honest with you. So I received this email from Charlie. Hi, Charlie. I want to call, unless the sound, Charlie, I'm talking to you, but everybody, unless the sounds that you hear, but both ears, it looks like from what you wrote me, as long as they're not causing you any pain or discomfort, they're just new and a little strange. I was, my left ear told me what you should do is start asking questions. What am I supposed to know? And if you wake up and there's a decision about, am I supposed to do this or am I supposed to ask? And what happens is you start paying attention and you get a message, you get advice. So that's my biggest piece of advice. This thing that I call my left ear is very real. I have stories on so many things with it. I have fun with it. It's never a sure thing, but my odds are pretty good. Not that way with everybody. It's a channel, and I know it can be developed. So 10 minutes of meditation, and I'll renew my marketing about my meditation tape is recommended for getting, so you can hear that thing, you can hear that advice, and everything's fine. Just ask. Something's trying to get your attention. That's what it feels like to me. So I hope that helps a little bit. And I think the more comfortable you get, the softer the sounds that have, I don't know, been upon you a few times. I hope that helps a little bit. Hope it helps everybody. And now it's Sunday, so I just want to tell you what I think is a funny story. I went out for these pancakes that are like the best pancakes I've ever had. Near me, a place called Jones on 3rd. They're buttermilk. OMG. So I'm going to have a cappuccino. I'm going to have these pancakes, and then I'm going to do my business and my writing and come back here and get a video ready for you. And in this restaurant, there's these really long wooden tables, which I love. So I'm just at the end of this wooden table. I've got my cappuccino, and these young people start to hover near me. When I say young people, I want to say in their 20s. They were looking, I think, for 3 or 4 seats. I had 3 around me. I was going to leave, but they were like, no, don't rush or anything. So they were very clean-cut, attractive young people. And one girl who sat down opposite me was just sort of like, the cover of a magazine, beautiful with no makeup. I mean, just her features, her skin. She was just blonde and beautiful. And they were all wholesome. So it turns out, I asked her, she'd never been there before, where she's from. So anyway, turns out she's a Christian student at a Christian college about an hour's drive from here. And then her soon-to-be brother-in-law sits down, and he's about to graduate from the Christian school. And the sister sits down, who's the sister of the nice girl I'm talking to. So they were all lovely. However, soon I realized that they were like serious missionaries. And because I was so friendly and curious, they started to try to get me to go to church and read the Bible. And I just had so much fun talking to them. I wasn't dishonest, but I did bring some lightness to it. I brought some things to it that I thought they might find it. Like, have you ever been to church? And I went, actually, as a child, I grew up going to church. I said, but I come from a non-religious Jewish family. Father, Jews from Germany, mother, Ukraine. But they didn't practice, but they weren't, I don't know, they weren't atheists. I never got that. They were sort of agnostic. My mother just stopped practicing when my father came into the picture. But at any rate, I said, but my parents were really, liberal, and I lived in a community where everybody looked like Hillary Clinton, and in fact, she graduated from my high school, and there were maybe 5 people, Jews, in my high school. So they were all saying, well, I'm having a slumber party. You want to go to church with us the next day? And my parents were always like, what a great experience for you. Go to church. So I went to the Catholic church and all kinds of churches when I was growing up. It was really fun and interesting. Well, they were kind of fascinated by that. So I'm weaving it around. I'm making it friendly. We did not talk politics, but there was a gift in this. Let me tell you what the payoff was. Because I was sitting there and they had their food in front of them and they weren't even eating. I said, eat your food, eat your salad. No, we're just so enjoying this. And then unfortunately, the guy started talking too much about the Bible. And this is what I said, well, I kind of think, in a way, I live a Christian life because I really operate from do unto others, which I think is the basic message of humanity. And oh, no, we're born in sin. Look, they were telling me this, born in sin, and then started talking about the garden. I mean, these were dyed in the wool, but I just thought it was interesting. But here's where it went. They liked me a lot because I engaged with them. They asked, have you read the Bible? No, I just don't seem to be interested. I have my own connection. Well, do you think there's an afterlife? And I said, all I can tell you is I've lost a lot of people, and a number of them come to visit me in ways that are so specific, so amazing. I can't prove it, but I have to think that's true. Well, you know, they were just kind of spinning on this, but I said, so, all right, so let me wrap this up, is because you're sharing all this information with me, and this is your life's work. I'm gleaning that I'm not going to heal, nor is anybody really going to heal with there's one way, and that is taking Jesus into my life. And they went, exactly. That was the big moment for me, because then I sort of was sitting right there in a kind of a friendly, well, it was friendly. They were sweet. They were just in the psychosis, the shared psychosis. But this one was the sort of on the verge of fasto. What is it? Christicism, Christian, I don't know, fasto. They were fanatics. And so I left when I got that answer very friendly. And they just really wouldn't give up on me to please read the Bible. And they talked about sin, but they were young, beautiful people. It was a wow. I think maybe I was put there because I planted some interesting questions in a very friendly way. Anyway, the missionaries at breakfast. That's what I'm calling that story. Wow. Now I'm gonna, wiping this up, instead of good evidence, I wanna explain that part of good evidence are synchronicities, because they always make you feel really good, you know? And so if there's a synchronicity, it's always good evidence. All right, so I'm calling this the synchronicity morning. So the bulb in I have a walk-in closet. I'm very lucky. It's really pretty big. The bulb went out, and it has a pulley chain on it. So I can't really fix it, especially now with the arm. So I got in touch with the manager, and he was going to have maintenance come over. He's really great. He always takes care of things. And I went, oh my God, I got to go get a bulb. So early that morning, before the maintenance person was going to come, which was Eric, who was really great, I went up to the local hardware store because I didn't really know what bulb to buy. And they were just opening their doors. I mean, literally, they were pushing back the things. And there was me, and there was a gentleman. And so I asked the guy who works there, who knows me, like, what size bulb do you think I should get for the closet? And he sort of just didn't know. He just didn't know. And he knows a lot, but he just didn't know what to tell me. So, okay, I'll figure it out. And I went back there, and I'm looking at this wall of bulbs. And I hear this man say, what can I help you with? I'm an electrician. So I turn around, and this very attractive, tall man with some silver hair, he was just really cool, what can I say, came over, and he goes, I know, I'm an electrician, I do all this stuff. And I went, why do I think you're not an electrician? And he went, well, I'm a lighting director. I went, yeah, that's more like it. He just had that thing about making movies. I don't know what to say. Anyway, he helped me pick up the bulb, and he was just right there. And it was we were the only two people in the hardware store. The guy who ran it didn't know the question. And then this just utterly sort of Jimmy Stewart kind of guy walked over and, what can I help you with? It was in very cool khakis. Anyway, it made my day. It was a really fun synchronicity. And it can be that small because the timing of it is like perfection. You're like, oh my God, it's like I ordered a pizza and I got electrical advice right there at 8:30 in the morning. And then, I won't lie to you, this is my quote, but I think it's timely because I got it through my left ear. It says, I don't watch the polls, I watch the energy. I don't watch the polls, I watch the energy. And that's really from my heart, from my left ear. And I think that's, rather than get fearful, because this is, 9 days, you got to kind of do what you can do and then turn it over. But the polls shouldn't make your blood pressure go up and down and what people say about them. Notice the energy. It's very different. Pay attention to that. And then follow the money, of course. But that's the quote. So oh, there's Petey. He showed up. He had dinner. And so he always goes outside. Hey, Pete, turn around so everybody can see you. Come here. Everybody has to see you. Everybody has to see you. You looking for another place to fall asleep? Yeah. He just spoke to me. Could you hear that? I'm staying on a minute longer because he showed up because everybody likes him so much. So you can get comfy. Will you miss the whole